All right, me and you family. Just want to give a huge shout out to not just a Latin artist, but an artist that is multi-dimensional. How do I put this politely? He actually gives me a vibe of where he can go into any style of music, not in just Latin, but also in the English sense. So I honestly look forward to hearing actually his journey and his story. So I'm just going to let him introduce himself. I have here with me.
I go by the name of Riio, based out of Seattle, Washington. Yeah, I like to make all kind of music. So I kind of grew up with a family full of musicians. So my father, my uncles, my aunties, like they all played instruments. They were all singers. My grandma, my grandfather. So growing up, I heard such a range of music, man. From like we're talking like rock and roll to the Beatles to cumbia, sonora dinamita. Just like it went ballistic. Like we would hear everything at parties. Everybody would be singing. Our family was the kind of family that if you weren't singing, if you weren't that niece or that cousin or that if you weren't the singer, then it was all bad.
So pretty
So
pretty
that's
much the black sheeps of the family were the non-singers.
pretty much, pretty much. Like if you couldn't sing, you better knew how to dance. Like you
Okay.
better be a good dancer. Yeah. So it was one or the other. So yeah, just growing up, it was very competitive. I say amongst each other, like cousins and everybody, it was pretty competitive because everybody wanted to sing, and my cousins can sing as well. I can sing, and we all kind of danced a little bit. So we always wanted to like kind of show each other out in a way, and I think it made it cool for us growing up because getting to see our family and my dad being in a band, and then now that I'm doing it, it's just like it's crazy how life plays out. You don't really growing up, you don't know where you're gonna be or what you're gonna do when you get older, and then all of a sudden I'm here doing music, and I'm just I mean life's a journey. Like that's the best way I could put it.
Where was your first musical? Oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? Where you got to perform. So whether if you were a kid or a teenager, when was the first opportunity that you had to either play an instrument or sing or dance? So when was like that first like exposure that you had?
So like I mentioned, it was all the house parties that we did, but the very like first public like setting for me, it was like church and then the school talent shows. I always wanted to be a part of those, so I would play drums, I would sing, and then at church, my dad he was like the lead director of the choir. So I have two other brothers. We had no choice. Like we had to be.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
It's like
that's how we got started.
familia sticks forever together,
Yeah,
man.
always. Aunque no quiera uno, like dad says yes, that's what it is. Like that's
That's
my
amazing. For the school talent show, were you nervous, or did like because you got to perform in church with your father and your brothers, was it a little bit easier to kind of like go into that public setting?
yeah, absolutely. For school, I was actually excited. Like I wanted to show people, like, hey, I'm a singer, like or I can play instruments just like my dad. Like I wanted to showcase that.
Oh, that's cool. So in school, did people know you as the musician, or did it was it something that like you showed them out of like, hey, here's a secret about me?
It was more like that. I've never really been the kind of person where like I'm gonna start singing, and like all they know, there goes Rio, he's a singer. I rarely sing in public. Like if you know I'm a singer, I'm a singer. If you know I'm an artist, I'm an artist. I've always kind of like conducted myself that way.
Oh, that's good, man. It's like, to me, I think that that's the healthiest approach in the sense of like, it gives an opportunity for people to get to know you or at least ask
Yeah,
you questions. Because if they just assume, I was like, he's a normal guy. It's like at that point, it's like, that they see you at not face value, but they just see you as somebody that doesn't have anything past what they know. And I'm like, for me, I'm like, I hope that people, when they look at me, they're like, I was like, this dude is interesting. It's like, I wonder what he's up to. Because for me, you never know what I'm up to. Now, musically, I'm not inclined. I'm not going to lie. The only thing I did in school was chorus. And
okay.
I had a solo for Hakuna Matata, but in Spanish just because I spoke Spanish, and I'm like, that's not fair. It's like my Spanish isn't even that good. So, so it's like an irony thing, and then it's like, of course, with the church, it's like I've always wanted to be in the worship side of church, and then
Okay.
it's like
Okay.
I did a tryout, and they told me that I just need to work on it harder. So I'm gonna once I have the funds to pay for singing classes, I'm gonna start doing that because I definitely
Okay.
need some help. There's no getting around that one.
Okay. But you like singing.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it. It's like it's something that feels at ease, and then not only that. So when it comes, this is kind of like a weird thing when it comes to music and lyrics. Even if I don't know the song and I'm hearing it for the first time, sometimes I can say the lyrics as the song is happening, and it's kind of odd. So it's like it's almost like I really truly feel the music, and then I can almost engrave myself into it, and then I'm like already in sync, and then I'm singing the lyrics, and I don't even know the song I'm singing.
That's some talent right there. That's melodies in your head that you have maybe
Oh
that you
yeah,
might need to just kind of tap into.
I I want to say this. The one thing I do on a regular basis, I can hear music in my head. So if I'm just walking around, it's like I'll just be vibing, and my fiance can attest. She's like sometimes I'll just start dancing randomly, like just making movements. It's because I'll just hear music in my
Yeah,
head, and I'm like I don't know if it's tinnitus or it's legitimately just something cool about me.
that's pretty tight, man.
So, question: are any of those records back there your records, or are those just records that have helped inspire you in your music journey?
Yeah, but so like the back wall is more inspiration, everything that's kind of gotten me through like the past few years or how I started. The side wall is all my stuff that what like my growing up childhood stuff, my CD and stuff. Like I'm slowly building the side walls little
Oh,
by little.
that's good, man. So, as of today, how long have you been professionally? The reason I say professionally as Rio is like, how long has that career been going for currently?
So this is my third year actually, and it's been a phenomenal third year. I feel like it's the first 2 years. I mean, like as an artist, it's a journey. Like the first year, you kind of start. At least for me, it was very like I'm still a little timid. I want to try certain things on the song, but I don't know how people are going to react because they don't know you. You're like,
Yeah.
you're trying to put yourself out there. They don't know who you are. So after by year two, I started getting more comfortable. I just becoming more myself, being more into the artist. And by year two, I started kind of flowing different, started throwing different melodies, started trying different genres. And I knew I could get to that stage, but I'm very, I, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like I critique my work so much because I want it to sound good. So a little backstory before I get to what I was gonna get to, like it before I launched myself as an artist, I spent almost a year and a half in my garage just working my singing, working my rhythms, my melodies. Most people just like, hey, I'm an artist, here's my song. I didn't want to go that way. I took a different approach. It's like I know I can make music, I know I can play instruments, but I want to make sure it's like if I'm gonna make a song, I want to make sure I sound good. I don't want to go into it where it's just like, oh, this guy, he's got potential. I wanted to be more like, no, you know what? I'm creating music from day one that sounds very professional. I don't cheat. I don't cut any corners. I want it to be where if a record label reaches out to me at one point, or a distribution company reaches out to me, I want my music to be top quality. That's always been my mantra. That's always been how I go about it with my engineer. And so from day one when we started making music to now, it's like everything is just like, hey, I want to make it sound like the top tier artist. I don't, like if I got to work on my voice, let's stop recording. Let me work on this. Let's work on the beat. Let's work on whatever it needs to be to make sure it sounds 100%.
That's good, man. It's like that means that you. It's not about taking pride because the word pride can sometimes be taken the wrong way, but it's like you do take a huge accountability for yourself for what you're creating. And most artists that I've met so far, like because I used to go to underground hip hop, and some of these guys would just write, but never practice, and you could see that there was no practice to give out the emotions behind their music.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like when I listened to your track, I was like, "Oh man, it's like this guy actually sounds like somebody I would listen to on la tele." Like, do you remember the old TV show that used to come on the Spanish channel where it was like at the beach and it would play music? Creo que se llama Caliente Sol, something like that.
I do remember a show like that.
So,
Yes,
like,
yes.
I envision you. in that type
Yeah,
of environment, getting people to dance and just having a good time. And I'm like,
yeah,
it's like he has the look. It's like he could wear the swagged out suit, but still be in beachwear, almost like
yeah.
kind of like Pitbull, like where he has that elegant suit, but he looks like he's ready for la playa.
Yeah, that's me in a nutshell, man. I'm my personality is very outgoing, and I make me like I make most of my music is fun music. At my shows, I want people to dance. I want people to have an experience. Like when they come to see an artist like me that I'm still kind of in my journey coming up, I want them to leave and have that feeling where like, man, this guy is amazing. Like I'll pay again to go see this guy because I'm gonna make you dance. I'm gonna make sure the crowd is engaged with me. I'm getting them to like wave their hands. I'm getting them to clap. Like it's an experience, like to be at one of my shows, and that's because I've been to so many shows. Like I mentioned, I grew up in music, so going with my dad, going to all these shows growing up, we got to see so many like cool bands. Like I don't know if you know any of these guys, like Los Bukis,
Yep,
Temerarios,
yep.
Industria del Amor. Like my dad was in the radio; he was a singer, so we always got a chance to go see all these shows. So like I just being little subconsciously like watching these guys like being the elite artists that they were, I was like, if I ever do this, like my little brain, my little self, 5, 6 years old, I was like, if I ever do this, I'm gonna do something like this, but I'm gonna do it in my own.
That's amazing.
And here I am now, like doing what I said I'd be doing. It's crazy.
So, like, I know that we were planning to do an interview, but you mentioned you were doing a show. How did the show go? Actually, I'm actually curious. Like,
The show was amazing.
I saw you post the story, and I'm like, I really want to know how it went because it's just like, or if you
Yeah,
had additional recordings where people were showing off like what was going on. Because I mean, if there's not that many videos, in the back of my mind, I'm like, that means people were busy dancing and experiencing the music, which to me
yeah.
is really good. Because there are
It's
some
always
concerts that there's people taking videos all over the place, and I'm like, are y'all truly enjoying the music?
I know, right? I know. You'll go to these big shows and everybody's on their phones. Like you gotta enjoy the moment, like be in the moment. You know, you too much on your phone, like let it go. Usually what I do for shows is like I used to like when I started doing shows, I used to make sure because you're starting as an artist, you want people to see you and who know who you
Oh
are.
yeah,
I used to always like reshare all the stories on Instagram. Now I'm very selective because I want people to go to the show. So I might share 2 or 3 stories, but then everything else, like, nope, you weren't at the show, you gotta go. And
yeah.
I usually kind of give people a recap of what the show was, but that's it. So when I do announce a show, they're like, "Hey, I want to go. Got tickets available. Tickets. Here's this." Just I'm always trying to do something different to invite people. Like I always try to create like the expectation and that atmosphere where like if you don't go, you're gonna miss out.
Oh yeah, no, that's really good. And not only that is like you don't want to overshare either what your art is because as soon as too many eyes get on it and people are seeing the same thing over and over again, or if they catch a glimpse of too much, that's like with the podcast. It's like I'm showing like what I'm up to, but I'm not
Yeah,
telling people exactly what I'm truly doing because I want to be able to just be like
yeah,
the content that comes out. That's what you guys get to experience. Like for example, and that's the main
yeah.
reason why I do no script. I want people to learn about you just like I'm learning about you.
Okay,
It's
okay.
a fair ordeal, and it's to at least what I think that you know I'm a stranger to you, and then we're gonna become friends off of this, and then it's like 2 3 years down the road, once you're doing even bigger shows, I'll be like, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
It's like
Yeah,
because I remember when you were telling me the venues you were at, it's like yes, you were getting hundreds of people going to these venues, but now you got
yeah.
thousands. It's like how is that feeling? Because now your next goal is going to be the tens of thousands.
Yeah, that's the mentality, man. Just stay focused. I just stay in my journey. I don't focus on what any other artist is doing. I actually, man, what's crazy is like I don't even listen to reggaeton music, and I purposely don't listen to it because I don't want to be saying what the other artists are saying. Like I try to listen to everything else but reggaeton. Like I want to be listening to R&B. I'll listen to worship music. It's like anything but the genre that I'm actually in.
I like that because then that's your own flow. That's your own style.
Yeah,
That's all you. There's no um, selective uh, influence essentially. So like if a specific artist has a specific way that they say a certain slang or word, it's like you're not picking up on that. You're just
right.
it's all you.
It's like, do I listen to it? It's like if I'm at a club or something, yeah,
Yeah.
but you won't catch me where like, oh, I'm gonna
It's not your
Spotify every
playlist.
song. Yeah, it's not. It's really not.
So as of right now, who's the current artist that you would say that you're listening to the most? Not to influence you, but to kind of learn from like what they did. And
My favorite artist is Fade, man. I love listening to Fade.
I'm
He's like the one guy that I do listen to a lot.
I'm gonna have you
And,
send me the link to his stuff because it's like I want to make
okay.
sure I share that with everybody. Because
Yeah.
even I'm like, do I know who that is? It's like I'm pretty sure I've heard a song once I start listening, but for me,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I'm terrible with names.
Yeah.
So it's just like when people are like, "Have you heard this song or this band?" I'm like, I mean, Los Bukis, of course I'm gonna know them. It's like I'm a
Yeah.
Latino. It's
Yes.
like Los Tigres del Norte, all these bands. It's like I know
Yeah.
them because my parents grew up on them.
Yeah.
Speaking of reggaeton, do you remember Los Cuentos de la Cripta? Did you ever hear that?
No. No. I do not. No.
Oh man, I will send you that. So this
Yeah.
was
Please
like
do.
uh I want to say the 90s, early 90s, late 80s. This
Okay.
is when reggaeton was done a lot different. Like this is where
Okay.
the dude you met at the gas station selling CDs because he had access to that like person that made the music. They downloaded his music on the
Yeah.
CDs and they were selling it on the spot. Man, these dudes came out with like mega mixes. Like it was just
That's
one CD that had like 20 different songs, but it all blended into just one mega mix. And that's how we
that's
got.
why.
That's the same people that did the El Gato Volador.
El
Like
Gato Volador. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I know that song. Yep. Okay.
so
Okay.
that's like one of those like mixes that like you'll hear the Gato Volador and stuff like that.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I only remember it because I used to like my dad in El Salvador. He would always take me to buy CDs and stuff like that. So we had a nice little collection, and it's just like in the back of my mind, it never left. I was like, because it was just one of those fun things, like driving near the beach in El Salvador, listening
Yeah.
to that. It's like can't beat that. Here, it's like I mean, I can listen to reggaeton while I'm driving, but it's not the same nostalgia.
It's
Too much
yeah, it's
city.
different. Like yeah, the old reggaetons is it's entirely different, man. It's you got a whole wave of like people that won't listen to like new age reggaeton because they just love the old stuff so much. It's like I think music, man. For me as a musician, I think music just it's an evolution. It's like it's constantly evolved. So it's hard to compare one era of music to another era. It's just because everybody's growing up in a different era of music. So it's hard to say, oh, the 60s were the best, the 70s were the best. No, the 2000s were so. Every era takes an inspiration
Oh,
of every
100%.
single musician, every song. There's all music. That's how music flows, man.
And then not only that, if we focus a little bit, music is continuously sampled by some of the OGs.
All the time, all the time, dude. All it's like every musician is finding inspiration off of a different song, a different musician. That's just how music is created.
So I have a question. So you mentioned that like, you listen to worship music. So when it comes to your music, do
Mm-hmm.
you lean more towards keeping it PG per se, or do you sometimes lean a little towards the secular side where, it's like some influences of what the regular genre would come out with
Yeah.
essentially?
I think for every song, I've been asked this question before too. I think every song is created different.
Okay.
So as I'm writing the song, or if I decide to create the beat first, usually I create the melody, like just mumbling, and then I work with my engineer and we'll start creating the beat around the melody. But so once I get to the writing stage, I just let it out. Like I just write whatever is free, and then I kind of get a feel like where do I want to go. I do try to keep it PG as the most as possible. I don't try to cuss. I only cuss if it really makes sense to throw in a cuss word to emphasize a certain sentence or to end a certain verse. But if you listen to most of my music, I'm not really cussing much. It's like it's
No, it's
very
very clean, and that's stuff
yeah,
I enjoyed. Like, I had to step away from a lot of different music genres
yeah,
because of I don't want to say genres, just songs in general that I used to love listening
yeah,
to because it had a lot of cursing, and I'm like, man, it's like. So now if I find myself legitimately asking artists, I'm like, do you have a clean version of this song? Because it's like I
yeah.
love it so
I
much.
don't blame you. I don't blame you, man. I've kind of done the same with like the last 2 years. I've cut off a lot of artists too that I used to listen to heavy, one day I was like, man, why am I listening to this stuff? Like, it doesn't fill me like as an artist. Like, not to knock on the artist that's making those records, like, because art is art and I appreciate everything, but it's just for me, it's just like it's not inspiring me. So why am I listening to this?
Yeah.
I need something with a little more substance, something that's giving me creativities to be able to create songs that I want to create.
Yeah.
So
Like,
very little, like, and now too, like, now that I do more all age shows, I try to make sure it's like, okay, if I'm gonna be performing in front of young kids, it's got to be clean. And I think you can still make great music without having to cuss.
oh, 100%.
You just have to, like, you just got to be more creative. It's just like, like, expand your vocab a little more, but it's doable.
You know about Luis Juan Gabriel, right?
Yeah, Juan Gabriel, absolutely. That's one of my favorites.
So there's this song that he did in English, and it was, to me, I loved it. It's like where he's almost like, it sounds like he's rapping, but he's not. He's just telling a story, but it's in English. And I think it was like when I try to present it to people, they don't like it that much. And I'm like, this is one of the greatest Spanish artists in the world. And it's like, and he gave you the English version, and it was
Yeah,
clean.
I don't think I've listened to Juan Gabriel singing in English.
I gotta,
That's
I
new
gotta
to
double
me. That's
check.
new to me.
I gotta double check. I think I'm mixing up the artist. He's
Yeah. Or is it Luis Miguel?
he did a song with Enrique Iglesias, if I'm not mistaken.
Enrique
I think
Iglesias.
he's Puerto Rican.
Luis Fonsi? Is it Luis
Nah,
Fonsi?
I'll definitely look it up, and I'll send it to you. It's like once I find it, it's like it'll be easy for me to send to you.
Yeah, yeah. Just shoot it over to me. I'll take a listen.
But it's like it gave me like a little bit of like why I felt like I was watching a movie from like the '80s. And like you know how in some movies they have the jazz festivals going on, it's like a nice cool swagged out stage,
Yeah,
and then they have
yeah,
that like
yeah.
old school microphone. It's like that's what it felt like. I was watching a movie like that, but it's
That's
a
pretty
it's a
cool.
song, and that's
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 pretty
just the
cool,
image
man.
that get put in my head. Man, I feel terrible that I cannot remember his name. Hey,
It's all good, man.
look, at least I'm honest about the name not remembering. I can tell you that I can hear the song in my head, but as like when it comes to telling it, I'm just like.
You're right.
So how many people currently in your circle would you say that are actual music artists, or at least like someone in the music industry that are helping you maybe learn some things, or vice versa, you're helping them learn some things? Because I know that typically once you're in the music industry, sometimes your network is either
Yeah.
your best thing you can have or the worst thing ever.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think most of my entourage, I mean, that's my entourage is not very big. I probably roll around with like 9 or 10 guys that I'm really close to, and I've purposely have made it to where it's just like I don't need at this point where I'm at year three. I know where I'm headed. I know where I'm going. I know my music is good, and it's a tight group. Everyone either plays an instrument or is creating a song, writing a song. My younger brother, he's a big influence in the music that I'm making. He's also a songwriter. My older brother, he's a keyboard player. He plays all instruments basically, but he helps me create a lot of like the instrumental stuff. And then I have my engineer who, when I go to the studio with him, we bounce melodies back and forth. He used to be in choir, so we kind of like, hey, what do you think if I go up an octave here? What do you think if I drop down a note here? So we ping off each other with melodies there, and then I have my producer who is based out of Spain. I connected with him through social media, and we just kind of bonded, man, kind of like this, just talking music, and next thing you know, we're making records like records that I think is just have elevated my career, has opened doors for me to perform in different venues just because my music has evolved so much. Um, yeah, I try to stay around people that are creative, man. I've always taken the approach where I don't want to be. I don't want to feel like I'm the smartest guy. I don't ever want to feel like, oh, I'm the best music. No, I was like, I want people that are better than me around me to help me create what I'm trying to create. It's like, if I can help you along the way, that's great. But I want people to help me. Like, I want to work ideas, bounce ideas off of each other. Like, that's honestly the best way you create music through collaboration. The best music is done with like multiple people, like people that work by themselves. I don't know how they do it. It's I used to do it in the beginning, but now that I actually have a team that makes music with me, it's phenomenal.
That's great. And I love that I heard you say it's like you already immediately you're in the mindset of like already giving that to someone else to help them out. And that's why it's like
Yeah,
I said, it's like we receive wisdom day in and day out, and it's only fair for us to pass it on to the next gen or the next person.
yeah,
Because it's like it's also like you almost create healthy competition for yourself as well in the same process.
yeah,
It's like
yeah, man.
because if you're the best and you never inspired someone else to become the next best, then it's like it gets boring at the top. Not saying that it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you always want to be there, but it's like you want to make it fun for everybody. It's like it's
right.
not just the music is not just for one person. Music is for everybody, and it's the
Yeah, music is
same thing with artists like the paint. It's healthy competition everywhere. There are artists that makes all kinds of different work, and like me, I still doodle like stick figures, but I can kind of
yeah.
draw. And I look at other people's artwork and I'm like, man, I'm like, how did they get to that point? And then I
I
start
know.
asking, and they're like, oh, I met such and such. They taught me how to do their one little technique, and this changed
Yeah,
my life. And I'm like, all it takes is just to hold the pencil a different way. Okay.
yeah, dude. It's funny you say that because I'm the same way too. Like if I go to a show and I really like a performance, a lot of artists are like too bashful, or like sometimes it's ego that doesn't allow you to go to another artist and go talk to them. If I find somebody that's great, no matter what stage of their career are, I go up to them and say, hey, what inspired you to make that song? I was like, how did you get to that melody? Like, I like that run that you did. It throws people off because a lot of artists are not willing to do that.
Yep.
But again, like I like to learn from through other artists, through other singers. Like, man, I was like, I like that run. I can't do it, but how did you do that? How did you practice that? I'm okay asking those questions.
So you know what overtone is, right?
Overtone, yes, yes.
So like even though so when it comes to music is like I can listen to an artist for X amount of time and for whatever reason I can kind of like pick up on their vocal keys. I learned
Mhm.
how to do overtone just by listening.
Really.
It's like in it's kind of fun. Like sometimes I'll find myself doing it. But the
Yeah,
reason I brought up overtone, just kind of like how you were talking about, like, oh, I like how you did that run. So
yeah.
there was this young lady on TikTok who posted a video of like, her song, and she asked for feedback, and I was like, it's like your vocal that you're holding has overtone.
Okay.
But I was trying to tell her without telling her that it's like it's a little too loud. So it's like
Okay.
it's tickling the ear a little too much. But then
Yeah, a
again,
little
it's
too much.
like
Yeah.
then again, I can still hear frequencies, the high frequencies, like a baby still. My high frequencies are still good. So it's like I may be the one that's overhearing it while somebody else who's hearing is more on the average side, it don't bother them.
Okay. Okay.
I know that's
Gotcha.
weird. I work in
Yeah.
audiology, so it's just like I
Yeah.
work with the ears and hearing aids, and so it's just like I
Okay.
learned how to talk and understand that side of the world, which I think is why I enjoy music so much and I pay so fine, close attention to like the
Okay.
simplest and smallest sounds. I'm like, oh, it's like I heard that. Pretty sure some
Let
people didn't hear that.
Let me ask you this: like, while we're in this topic of kind of like, what do you hear in my music? What made you? What attracted you to be like, hey, let me reach out to this guy? Like,
So
I thought it was cool, humbling for you to reach out. Like a lot of people don't want to comment on an up and coming artist because like I don't know who that person is. Like I'm just gonna scroll or whatever.
oh
So
yeah.
I'm curious.
So I'm not gonna lie. The first thing that caught my attention is y'all's outfits. I was like, all right, these guys got swag. But then,
Okay.
literally, it was the aspect of it that there was no ear sore. It was just
Mm,
legitimately like good melody, good flow, and then one of the key components that I think was the best thing is that I didn't hear something that was gonna make me wonder. I actually was just absorbed in the music. And
nice.
think of Billie Eilish a little bit. I know it's a completely different genre,
Yeah.
but like her music kind of has this like so I'll just treat it like a wave. It's like her music I feel like it goes like this, just straight across. Like there's no real ripples, and that's how I felt about your music. Like it was just smooth. It was just buttery smooth.
Thank-
And so that's where I got that aspect. I'm like, man, it's like so I couldn't see you as just a new artist because of that. I already saw that there was like, okay, this guy either a has a really good team behind him,
Yeah.
or they know what they're doing. There was one or the other, and if they're saying they're a new upcoming artist and they're just not getting the publicity, but they're this good already, I'm like,
Yeah.
something's missing. I don't know what it is, but it's just like something's missing. And I was like, but you know what?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, if he's growing on his journey, I'm growing on my journey. I'm like, well, let me support this brother. And at the same time, it's like, in the future when I have the opportunities, let me go to his shows because I know I'm going to have a good time there. And so it's just like
Appreciate it.
anybody that I interact with, like I'm going to keep it 100% real. It's like if I don't like your song, it's like I'll tell you if you ask for my feedback, like, oh, why didn't you like my song? But I'm not going to
Yeah.
flat out just put it out there like, oh, I didn't like it that like that. No, because it's like
Yeah.
that's negative criticism and it's not fair to the artist because I'm like, just because it's not my cup of tea doesn't mean it's the next person's cup of tea. And my comment can literally, I don't want to say ruin their career, but it can ruin a part of them because that's their baby. They created it. So
I
that's
like. I
why,
like.
that's primarily it. It's like, I'll still tell a person like if they want to know if their song was good or not. But I always tell them, do you like it yourself? That's the big question.
Okay. Okay.
Because if you don't like it yourself, why are you asking me?
Yeah. True. True.
It's like you can't go off of people's opinions. Like for example, for you and your music, you've already told me you are only going to release music as long as it sounds good to you.
Yeah, it's got to be good for me and my team. It's like if they approve and because if obviously, yeah, you're right. It's like if I record the song, I like it. What do you guys think? Because before it comes out, the team hears it. What do you guys think? Is this the final product? Should we change anything? And if everybody gives me the green light, I know the audience is gonna like it. It's just it has to go through some checks, man. It has to.
Are y'all? So I know that on online there's applications for like the tiny table. I know if you've seen that before on
Yeah,
YouTube. Are you guys ever going to try to apply for it or?
yeah, absolutely. I actually missed the cut this year. I wanted to apply for it this year. We recorded a tiny desk session 2 weeks ago at a private event that we did. We had a videographer come in, and
Oh wow.
we're still kind of waiting for that for all the videos to come out. But it's gonna be pretty epic. I think the guy that we have is we kind of like we're looking for somebody that did like the cinematic style filming where it's just like, yeah, a lot of people can record, but I wanted it to look like a movie kind of deal. But the editing, like not so much editing, not too many filters, just like pure cinematic. And I think we
You wanted
really
to
came up.
have good paneling.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
It's kind of like what they do in church production. It's like where it's
Yeah,
like there is not this extravagant thing, but you can kind of see the flow of the music with the artist as well.
right. Yeah, that like lately, that's kind of where I'm leaning with my team. Is just like, hey, I was like, how do we create music where people can like feel it? Like, like I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. Meaning, like, if I'm recording a video, it's easy to just let me just lip sync here and like move around a couple times. And here's the next clip. I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to paint a picture. So my last video that I just did, Si Tu Supieras, if you notice, I didn't do any lip syncing on that one. I think there was one clip where I'm like turning away on the camera and I might have like moved my lips a little bit, but the whole purpose moving forward for us is like we have 3, 4 videos that we're gonna launch, and everything is storytelling. You'll listen to the music, and you're kind of understanding what's happening just through like dramatic scenes, through actresses that we'll have, through actors that will play certain roles. And I'm trying to tell a story through the music and using the lyrics for that.
I like that. So we're not going to really witness you like lip singing, like you were saying. It's actually going to be more like your music is painting everything for everybody to watch what's happening in real life, essentially, with the video.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, so all the scenes that you'll see is just like because we're humans, man. Like we have different feelings. Like we go through things differently, we cope with things differently. So the way you interpret the video that I recently released might have been entirely different from someone else like having a good day. Like if you're having a bad day, it's like, oh, I can relate to that. If you just got out of a relationship, it's like I did something like that before. I couldn't control my emotion and I freaked out, or somebody might have got out of a relationship and they were just fine. So it just depends on how each person's gonna look at it.
That kind
And
of.
I'm okay with it. Like
Mhm.
I'm okay with like I feel like we you talked about this a little bit. It's like some people will like give you negative feedback. I'm okay with it because I feel like music is so subjective, and when you put yourself out publicly, like I kind of want that because it's like I know everybody. I know my music's not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm okay with that. So it's just like if somebody doesn't like the music, okay, you didn't like it, thank you, because I don't want everybody to be like, oh, this is great, this is great. I know there's gonna be people that are not gonna like it. That's totally fine.
So, do you guys have an signature sound that you guys do like in every song? Like, I haven't met an artist that like does like a signature, like a quick little 2 second segment in their song where it's like the same little melody, and it's like it's kind of like hidden in their music. I don't know.
Yeah, I got a few ad libs and a melody that I my brother kind of caught on to. He's like, man, he's like, I feel like when you get stuck, you always throw that one melody. So if you listen to my music more, you'll pick up on it.
All right,
You'll pick up on it. I like it. Yeah, if there's like a closing to something, it's like let me go with my go to. But
there.
I'm kind of purposely doing that because I want people to identify that sound too at the same time. Whereas like if you hear that melodies like down the road a few years later as I'm making music, you're like, oh, that's Rio's melody. He does that all the time.
I like that. Yeah. So I've been stuck on like every artist that I've found so far. The song that I
Yeah.
find you with, that's just on repeat on Spotify at the moment. It is like, and the
Yeah.
thing is that in the work truck, I get in. So I'm waiting to get in trouble because in the work truck we have a camera.
Yeah.
And so I've been testing La Bocina en esa cosa. I
Yeah.
just crank it up though. I was like, it's bad. And then the thing is that like, there's other workers around and I just be pulling up and they're just, all you hear is brrr, brrr on the speakers and they're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, you're in a professional sound. I'm like, I don't care. It's like, it's music, man. It's like, if you can't
Yeah,
enjoy
it's
music,
music.
but I'm
It's
like,
music.
I think about my ears too, though. I'm like, oh, voy a ser sordo rápido.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I was like, I swear, like my ears are gonna be fried in a few years, man. It's just like I love listening to like music and like good headphones. It's just like blasting. It's like I want to hear everything, like everything going on in the instrument.
So one thing I learned, and this is just to kind of take it with a grain of salt, there are some specific headphones, and since you've been in music longer than I have, but there are some specific headphones that you don't even need to turn it up that high to hear everything.
Yeah, yeah, that's very true.
And one thing I learned is that wearing custom earplugs, like those, just like how for your sound check or your actual earpiece that you wear in the concert, they actually
Mhm.
make a custom earplug version of it. And I noticed that when I have that earplug in and I listen, it actually gives me more acoustics. I know that's weird to think about an earplug giving you
Really?
access to
Okay.
it, but it's like it almost filters out any additional sounds that's not the music. Like you get the raw
Mm,
music. And that's why at the same time, people that go to concerts, they get surprised when they wear earplugs, they can hear it better.
interesting. I've never, no one's ever said that.
So that was it. Take it with a grain of salt because it's like
I might be giving it a try.
take it with a grain of salt though, because like I said,
Okay.
it's like it still hasn't been scientifically proven,
Okay.
but there's been enough people that have talked about it in the hearing aid world, or at least in that specific educational side of things.
Okay. That, I mean, I'm willing to give it a try.
So I found who the artist was.
Okay.
So I was close. So Juan Luis Guerrera.
Juan Luis Guerra.
Guerra.
Okay,
It's
I
like
got
medicine for my soul.
you. Medicine for my soul. Yeah, I gotta listen to the song. I've never heard it.
Yeah, so it's in English, and he normally doesn't lean towards the English side. So it's just
Yeah.
like, but apparently his one English song, he's had a couple more than that, but like his English songs didn't gain as much traction as his Spanish. And I'm
Okay.
like, are you guys kidding me? It's like he went out of his way to give you the same music in Spanish in
Yeah.
English, and it's if not good, but even better.
Really?
But
Okay.
again, that's a little biased, but that's just my opinion. I'm
Yeah.
like, this man went out of his comfort zone to make music for other people to enjoy it, and it came out just as good.
Wow. Okay. Now I'm a big fan. I definitely got to check it out.
So that's the little cup of tea for me saying it's like, hey, that's what, so I can literally go to different genres. I listen to Mongolian metal or freaking, I know it's weird. But it's because music is just fun. It's like there's no like you're stuck in one place. Like there's never a like the TikTok
Yeah.
trends where people are listening to like it's called funk, like PHONK, and it's like usually car videos are involved with it.
No, no, I'm not aware.
All right, I'll send you one on TikTok for sure. But it's like it sounds like techno, but very like raunchy.
Okay.
And it's just like I like some of it, but it's more like gym music to me versus like
Yeah.
cruising and enjoying the day.
Yep. No,
So
absolutely.
let's shift gears a little bit. So I know you talked a little bit about your family, but and also you gave a fun fact that you did the talent show stuff. But what's something that typically your average fan wouldn't like know about you at all? Like what's a fun fact that they wouldn't like expect you? Like something that's out of pocket per se is like that they wouldn't expect. Like some person I interviewed, he said he likes taking baths, and it's like okay, no showers, just baths. So I was like, got it. I'm like, so you be rolling life like Run DMC, Rev Run in the bath.
What's one thing? What's one thing? It can be anything.
Can literally be anything.
It can be anything. I'm. I would say I'm two things. I'm a high school soccer coach,
Nice.
and then I'm also big into MMA and boxing. That's something that I don't share too often. I try to keep everything music related with my socials.
Oh no, that's understandable. So just to kind of like touch base on it, were you playing before being a soccer coach? Did you play soccer outside of that?
Yeah, yeah, I love soccer, man. I thought I was gonna be a soccer player. I thought I was like the best in the world, until you get a little older and then you start playing with better players. And yeah, it's just like I'm good, but I'm not that good.
And I was a goalkeeper. That was my position,
Okay,
and
okay,
I gotta say that position destroyed my body.
really,
It's like
really
I
okay.
just turned 30 this year, and it's like I feel it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine because it's tough being a goalkeeper, man. A lot of people don't want to be goalkeepers. Sometimes you're kind of like a lot of the guys that I've met. They were goalkeepers by force, not by choice.
No. For me, it was
Yeah,
choice.
you're gonna be goalie. You're goalies, like just crazy. But yeah, I love soccer growing up, man. Soccer was one of my go tos. Like that was like I think before music, I think I was in love with soccer. I wanted to be a soccer player in this. I actually went to at 18. I went to Guadalajara and I tried out for a professional team. And I got pretty far. I think I got to the last day of like tryouts where they were kind of already cutting people. And for into I knew somebody at the time in Guadalajara that was extremely good, man. I was like probably by far. I always tell people this by his name was Alex. By far the best soccer player I've ever played with. Like the dude could do anything with the ball, can pass perfectly, could score whatever spot. And he didn't want to be a soccer player. He was so good, but he's like, I don't want to be. He wanted to be a doctor.
That's
He
interesting.
wanted to be, yeah, he wanted to be a doctor. So, but he was so good, people would pay him to go play soccer. It's like he was that good. And so I was like, hey man, I was like, come to the trials with me. He's like, make me look good. You
Hey, that's
know?
smart. Hey.
Yeah, so I took him with me. It's like for 3 days. I was like, I bought him lunch, dinner. Like we stayed at the same hotel, everything. Dude was balling, man. Dude was balling in tryouts. We got all the way to the end, like, and I ended up getting cut. And he actually made the team, and he rejected it. He was like, I don't want to be a soccer player.
Dang.
So it's crazy, man. It's just like to tell that story because sometimes it's like some people are like, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then other people are just great at doing something, but it's like I don't want that.
I agree. No, I definitely agree with that because ever since I was young, my family and friends were always like, you're going to be a good counselor one day or you'll be a good teacher one day. And I'm just like, I don't want none of that.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry. It's like, surprise. So this is an argument I even had with my fiance. I'm like, honey, I'm an introvert. And she's like, ain't no way you're an introvert. And I'm like, ever since I was little, my mom always forced me to every social gathering I could ever imagine to ever going to. It's like
Yeah.
I always ended up in positions of social gatherings, and I'm like, I don't want to go. Like I always never wanted to go, but for whatever reason, I picked up on learning on how to be at least semi decent at conversation, or at least talking to people, getting to know people, and then it got to the point like where people tell me stuff that they normally wouldn't tell anybody else.
Mm.
And
Okay.
so it's like that's just a gift I say from the big man upstairs. I just leave it
Yeah.
at that. That
Yeah.
people are feel safe enough to do something like that,
Yeah.
and it's just like they don't feel like I'm going to use it against them, which is like that's the case. I would never want to use something against somebody that is giving me insight in their lives because it's like for somebody to share something that they normally don't share. I feel like that also takes a weight off their shoulder a little bit because it's now something different for them. And
I
then
agree.
one of my greatest mentors when I was a kid was actually a counselor. His name was Steve McGinsky. He actually passed away during COVID. When I found out, I was devastated. He was one of those few dudes in my life that I would say was like a father figure type of person. And he taught me how to respect everybody, regardless of the scenario that they're going through, but also to try to see how people are going through life in their circumstances so that then I'm able to kind of either try to maneuver around it to where I'm still involved and I'm acknowledging what you're going through, but maneuver around it to where it's like, all right, I'm going to keep you in that circle a little bit to try to help you get past what you're going through. And then it's like, I'm going to let you break free.
Okay.
It's like, I'm going to pretty much just surround you, like giving you a hug, but then it's just like, I'm going to just let you break free at that point. It's because it's like, you got to get out of that. It's like, you can't trap
Okay.
yourself. It's like, but I'm going to give you that protective shell while you're going through it.
Gotcha. So,
So,
you mind if I ask you a question?
yeah, go ahead, brother.
You mentioned you're an introvert. What made you want to do this, like podcast?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I sorry. So I thought about it like once upon a time. I forget which podcast it was, but there was a podcast that I heard, and I was just like listening, and I'm like, oh, this is a different vibe, a different setting. It's like maybe podcasts aren't so bad. Because I had this speculation on podcasts that it was all trying to just feed off of people's vulnerabilities or bad things that are happening in the world, just trying to make money off of like just things, just like how the news does. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had that same image with a podcast, and then eventually somebody broke that cycle for me a little bit, like saying like, "Oh, okay, it's like maybe it actually isn't so bad." And the other side of it that also made me want to do a podcast is like at church and like when I go to men's breakfasts or stuff like that the subject would come up as like, oh, it's like you'd be a good pastor, and I'm like, nah, I'm sorry, no. It's like in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm saying no, but in front of them, I'm like, you never know, you never know, because you really don't. But in the back of my mind, I was like, nah, not happening. And
You're right.
so then going back to one of my influences is Anthony Bourdain. Is like he was a chef
Okay.
who had addiction issues or substance abuse issues and
Yeah.
other things in life that didn't make life easy for him. And he was one of those few people that were on TV, but he went to the rural places or the places you wouldn't want to go normally to go try to eat food. And he would eat their
Mm.
food, even if it was like on a dirty dish or a dirty plate or a piece of a leaf. He didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I'm like, I love that he was going to places to share people's stories. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, the podcast originally I was handing the torch over to somebody else because I'm like, I don't got time for it. I really don't. And
Okay.
that didn't work out. So it's like the person I was trying to teach how to just kind of do this stuff is like, it didn't work out. So I was like, you know what? Okay. It was my dream. It was my idea. Let me give it a shot. But let me really think about what's the message I want to portray.
Okay.
And that's why it's like I came up with the name, the Me and You podcast,
You.
because it's not about me, it's not about you, it's about me and you. That's the catchphrase because it's us talking. And then I added a little bit of a piece of me in there because my grammar is not that good. So that's why it's me and then the letter N and then you.
I see. Okay, that makes sense.
So it's just like people will understand that over time is like when they listen to me talk, my grammar actually does kind of suck because my parents would bring me here to the States, and then take me to El Salvador, bring me back to the States, take me to El Salvador. And
Mhm.
so grammar for both languages isn't the greatest.
Yeah. That's I mean I kind of say the same thing about me. Is it's like, yeah, do I speak English? Do I speak Spanish? Yeah, but sometimes it's like I'm thinking one thing in Spanish and I'm talking in English. It's like we confuse ourselves, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's like,
but
dude, there's times where like the other day, like I was just like, why do I pray in Spanish and I never pray in English? Like
that's facts. I'm
I
so,
was like, dang, I just thought about that the other day. I was like, that's just how it naturally comes out.
that's true because I remember the first thing I learned how to pray was in Spanish, the Padre Nuestro, like that. That's what I learned first, and
Yeah.
then once I was like college age, that's when I started learning how to pray in English.
Okay.
So it's like I can do both, don't get me wrong, but it's just like I
Yeah.
remember all I knew was Spanish, and then it's like when somebody's like, "Go ahead and pray," I just knew to do it in Spanish for the longest time. Like I barely just learned the Padre Nuestro in English like maybe a year ago, maybe two at
Yeah.
most. So it's just like people were like, "Wait, what? You didn't know the like the Father's Prayer? Like you turned just 28, 30?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, what? I was supposed to know it. I didn't know that was a law or a
Yeah.
rule.
It's the struggle of being Latino, man. That's just it's a beauty.
Oh yeah, I wish people would just kind of try doing a second language. I don't care if it's Spanish or Chinese, whatever you name it. I'm like, just go try
Yeah.
a second language, and once you get good at it, then come and talk to us about how is your mind now that you're bilingual. It ain't the
I know.
same.
It ain't the same. It's not the same.
And the worst part for us is we got the food and the music. As soon as
Dude,
our
I think it's great, man. Be able to have two languages and because you could listen to two different languages, two different style of musics too, and you understand them. So I think that's a plus, in
Mhm.
my opinion.
Have you ever considered listening to other languages of music, or do
I
you do?
do. I listen to a lot of Bollywood music too because I'm connected with a lot of DJs. So I try to listen to a little bit of everything. So I actually have this app called, I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's Radio with four O's
No, I'll
at
definitely
the
look it
end.
up.
Dude, look it up. It's one of the coolest apps invented. Like you open this app, you put you select a region where you want to like the style of music you want to say, for instance, Middle East, or you want to go Latin America, and then you just put the year you want to like the year of the music that you want to listen to, and it just shuffles music and it plays music that you would never even know existed. And I actually like using that more than Spotify because it'll help me with like, hey, I want to sample a song like this at some point. Like the other day, I was listening to Italian music from like the 40s, and I like the old song so much that on one of my new songs, we're actually sampling a piece of the beginning of that song from that Italian song that I was listening to. And if I was on Spotify, I would have never in my life would have listened to that song.
I'm just writing it down to make sure I have it.
Yeah, it's a,
I
it's a
got my
phenomenal.
sticky notes always ready to go.
It's a phenomenal app, man. A friend of mine kind of put me on to it. He's like, "Yeah, have you heard of radio?" I was like, "No." I was like, "What is it?" And I was like, "A radio app?" He's like, "No, it's not. It's music from anywhere in the world, any year in the world, whatever you want to listen to, and it just shuffles the music."
Spotify, don't get mad at me. It's like I know I post my
Yeah, dude.
podcast
Like it's
there.
it's a sleeper app, man. People don't know about it.
Hey, that I'm cool with it. It's like for me, what is it? It's like there's no gatekeeping. So it's like I'm very thankful
Nah,
that you
nah.
sharing that with me because now I get to share it on the podcast, and other people be like,
Yep.
I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna put that as a question on the podcast. Is like, have you heard of this app before? And then it's
Yep.
like just see what people say. I love that
Yeah,
you
for
can do
sure.
polls on the podcast. It's like makes it a little more interactive, a little fun, find some cool stuff to talk about, or just kind of get the opinions and engagement of the people.
Yep. That's cool.
So now let me see what time it is because I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're a busy guy. So we're gonna shift gears a little bit. I'm gonna ask you a couple of like more like geared towards the personal, and then I'll jump back into the music, and then we'll kind of leave it up to where you kind of give some influential wisdom to somebody who may want to get into the music industry or just in life in general wisdom. So, would you say that so when you're thinking about yourself personally, do you find yourself making music in the raw emotions, or do you have to be in a specific headplace, like personally, to be able to just be in the music industry at all?
Raw emotions. Everything's raw. I like writing from just raw emotions. It's like every day I try to like my motto is to write a song a day. So it's like yeah, I have what like 30 something songs on Spotify, but my laptop behind me I probably have over 200 300 songs that I haven't released. And I just try to write music depending on how I feel. I'm usually a happy guy. I wake up and I'm in good spirit all the time. I feel good. Um, Throughout the day you go through stuff, like it's decision making and it makes you feel some type of way. So sometimes I'll have a conversation with somebody. They are going through something and I'll use pieces like that in my music. Like everything's not about me and my song. Sometimes it's about a conversation that I have with somebody and I'll tailor it to how do I make it fit to something. So everything's always I like it just it has to be just natural. Like I'm not the kind of artist that I was like, I gotta be in a certain space to go create. I can create whatever. I think true artists can create whatever.
Okay. And then outside of music is like, what's your go-to leisure to like kind of get away from music and just kind of like give yourself a recharge almost? Like what's
The gym. The gym and at the gym I listen to worship music, man. That's all I listen to in the gym.
That's crazy. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. It's like, wait, let me ask this: what type of worship music? Because I know that there's different genres. Is like,
yeah.
I know that I can't be listening to Oceans and working out. I'm sorry.
Dude, you know what's crazy? I do. I like listening to C Winans. Like she's one of my favorite singers. I'll listen to her because in the gym, I just want something that's like fueling my soul. That's it. I'm not there to listen to a certain beat like that. I have moments in the day where I want to listen to specific beats or certain lyrics. Like when I throw on worship music, I just want to be relaxed. Like I want to be thinking positive. I want to feel my soul.
I like that. See, when I listen to worship music, for me, it's more of like I'm just in the mood of worship. And I think
Mm-hmm.
what I need to do is I need to re engage my brain to treat worship at the gym as I'm worshiping the Lord by taking care of my body. It's like I think that's what I
Okay,
need to
that's
do
how you do it.
because you just like you just kind of like opened up that little bit of the mind where it's like
Yeah.
wait, he says to relax. It's like the gym relaxes him. He's connected,
Yep,
relaxation.
that's my way. It's like I tell people all the time too. It's like they're like, what do you listen to in the gym? I was like, worship, love Jesus. Like that's what I listen to.
That's good. You just taught me something new that I can try to use because I'm telling you, man, I have to listen to like almost like anime music to like get me pumped
Yeah,
for the gym.
yeah,
Because I don't know, when I'm doing bench presses or lifting any heavy weights, I have a
yeah.
mental block every time I work out. And my cousin's told me this multiple times. He's a Marine, so he's used to like working out tough and everything.
Okay.
But like for me, I'm like, I'm a bigger dude than he is. And sometimes I can't get past like that 100-pound bench press. And I'm like, why? And then I start listening to anime music and then I'm like pumping iron like it's nothing. And so it's
Yeah,
just like there's this little mental block that just kicks in. Is like the one thing I can't do is a pull up. As much as I try, it just for all these years of the life of me. But I'm hoping that once I lose enough weight, I'll try it again. But at the same time, I had a car accident that ruined my shoulder. So it's like, I don't
ooh,
think that's going to happen anytime soon. I'm trying to find, I'm
okay.
hoping with interviewing people, I can find somebody who's like a specialist for like injury physical therapy to get you to
Okay,
work out
yeah,
properly and just get some advice from them and just give it a go around.
yeah. That'd be pretty cool, man. I hope you find that person. That'd be great.
Oh yeah, that's the whole cool thing about the podcast. I'll meet all walks of life. There's a gentleman I just saw that's like a scientist. It's like I definitely want to
Yeah,
interview him because it's like I don't think I've ever heard a scientist get on a podcast at all. Well, let me rephrase that: non-famous scientist
non-famous, non-famous.
like Bill Nye. He's on podcasts all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So now we're gonna go into the kind of just towards the end of the podcast. So
Mhm.
if you were able to give somebody a piece of advice, and we'll do two different pieces of advices in the music industry and then outside of the music industry, like what's a piece of wisdom you would want to pass down to them that would either help them in their journey for music or just in life in general?
Yeah, I mean, I think for music and life in general, it's just like my biggest advice to just even artists that I put on my shows or give them a platform to be able to perform under me. And I always say, just like, stay focused. Like, whatever your goal is, you're gonna there's gonna come distractions. There's gonna be times where you'll be tempted. Stay focused. Just stay focused. It's like regardless of what you're seeing, because social media, it plays tricks on your mind. You'll see other artists doing other things. It's like, oh, I'm not doing enough. Stay focused, because you don't know how that person got to that stage or how they got to that level. So as long as you're kicking on all cylinders and you're waking up and you're working on your craft, you're making music, or you're whether you're a coach, you like going to the gym, just stay focused, because at some point you have your breaking point if you're consistent with what you're doing.
Okay. And then the last thing is, if if you were able to go back in time and talk to a younger you, right?
Yeah.
What's something that you would tell yourself to skip something that you went through in life, to just avoid something, just so you could get to where you're at now, maybe quicker or something?
Something that I would skip. I would probably say more so just like, if I could reword it a little different, if I could say, I think if I was my younger self, I would be more so, I would be telling myself, enjoy the moment, because a lot of times I don't appreciate what I'm doing. So like try to enjoy what I'm doing more often.
Okay. Would you say slow it down a little bit and actually live the moment?
Yeah, I guess you could say slow it down a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm going at 100 miles an hour is too much. And it's just like the other day I was just like, you know what? I don't appreciate sometimes what I'm actually doing.
Sounds to me like you gotta have your crew with you, kind of hold you accountable a little bit on that one. It's like, hey, are
Yeah,
you? They
I
gotta
think
ask you, are you
so.
enjoy yourself? It's like, how you doing,
Yeah,
Rio? He's like, did you have fun? It's like, I'm pretty sure you check on your peoples, but it's like, now I'm gonna hold them accountable. Are they checking on you?
appreciate that, man. Appreciate it.
It's like, but now that we're friends, it's like I'll be checking in on you too. Be like, how you doing, man?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely, man. Anytime. Likewise, I'll be doing the same, man. I hope we can stay more connected, and appreciate you supporting my music and reaching out to me, man. It means a lot.
oh, 100%. And hopefully, financially, if things go a little bit better before I move to Virginia, is like I'll try to come out to one of your shows because since I'm in Nevada, I'm not that far. So it's just like, or if you happen to have a
Yeah.
show like in Reno, Northern Nevada, or even
Well,
Sacramento, I should be able to go
well,
to
you know what?
Sacramento.
I'm actually working on something for October to be in Las Vegas. I'm gonna try to do something in Vegas.
Oh, that's really good, man.
Yeah.
So in October, I'm gonna be gone in Virginia. I leave in
Oh,
September. I
okay.
know it's like right after, but you never know. It's like might be able to catch a flight and go see what's up.
Yeah, you never know.
So, all right. So last thing, anybody want to give any shout outs to, or if you want to just share something that you're passionate about, like, and then we can include the links, like something you'd be like an inspirational video to go check out. It's like floor is yours for the next minute or two, or however much time you
Yeah,
want.
absolutely. Well, first, I want to give a big shout out to my family, friends, everybody who supports me from day one. I got some day one people that have just been with me. It's just like always telling me, keep going. And those are the people that have kind of helped me along the way a lot. And I really, really appreciate those people. And I hope they get to see this. Secondly, my music family who we make music together. It's been a beautiful journey, man. This is, like I mentioned earlier, year three, and it just feels like the doors are just really now just starting to open up. So we started it from day one, and just to see how much it's grown, it's beautiful. And lastly, go check out my music. Anybody listening to this podcast, go check out Rio on Spotify. Two I's, so Riio. You can follow me on all social medias by looking me up by Yo Soy Rio. So translated in English, I am Rio. Yo soy Rio. That's all I got, man.
All right, perfect. And then we'll make sure to include all the links in the bottom. That whole segment. So literally, if there's any additional things you want to sneak in there, that's all your section, man. It's like even though it's like the podcast, I tell everybody it's like that's your opportunity to share whatever you feel like. So It's like
Okay.
I'll be waiting for all those links you give me. So we're gonna go ahead and sign off. Just gonna say bye to everybody. Y'all have yourself a wonderful day. Thank you again, Rio, for everything. And I'm gonna end the
Appreciate you, bro.
recording right now.